time. These magazines wanna feature me, cause they know I'm on the rise. Get the attention, I'm on a mission. Cause ever since I flipped that switch, my power can't be denied. Oh my, 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 oh my, my, my. Call me a king, buy me a crown. Oh my, 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 oh my, my, my. I'm leveled up, and this is my world now. This is my world now. So anyone who tried to write me off, tell them they can go and write this down. This is my world now. Pay attention, I'm on a mission. Man with a vision. Got a passion, making it happen. Ready for action. And this is my world now. This is my world now. So anyone who tried to write me off, tell them they can go and write this down. This is my world now. So anyone who tried to write me off, tell them they can go and write this down. This is my world now. And this is my world now. And this is my world now. And this is my world now. This is my world now. Hey! Here we go! We coming ready or not, you better steady yourself, because we're racing somehow. There's nothing keeping this roof from blowing off. We're taking over the town, hit the switch and shut it down. Like in New York, we're electric, never stop. We coming ready or not, we coming ready or not. We're giving all that we got, we're giving all that we got. We're coming ready or not. We're throwing gas on the fire, the stratosphere
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Our family started RVing a few years ago, and when I think about all those campfires and fishing trips and sporting events, these are memories that are going to last a lifetime. I want to help others do the same thing. Hi, I'm Kevin Smith, General Manager at the all-new Click It RV in Milton Freewater. People in this community are very familiar with this location and the great service they've always received. So the biggest question we get is, where is Keith? The great news is, Keith is still here.
I've seen a lot of changes. I've seen a lot of things come and go. Through all the changes that we have seen, one thing that has not changed for us is the quality of our service.
Buying an RV is a big purchase, but it should be a fun and happy experience. So whether it be in sales or service or parts, our mission is simple: be the best. From our team here at Click It RV in Milton Freewater, we invite you to come down and experience the difference.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, from the historic racetrack in Connecticut, that is Stafford Motor Speedway. We welcome you to the penultimate race of the season, the final points race of the season for the Maine Sim Racing Series of 2022-23. This is iRacing on LSRTV, and we again welcome you to Stafford on the virtual iRacing server. I am Wesley Outland. Brockton Packard is alongside as color analyst, eating tacos on Wacky Wednesday, and in pushing the buttons behind the scenes is our buddy Charles Wooten in Wichita Falls, Texas, handling the production. Well, I'll tell you what, Brockton, after a fun, exciting all-star race at Concord, Hickory, what a race it was. We now go back to the final points race of the season before their big finale that is always at Oxford Plains Speedway.
Yeah, Wesley, it's a good kind of week and a half to relax. We had the prelude to the All-Star 4 weeks ago now, and then last week we saw an amazing race at Hickory for the All-Star race. But now it's time to come back to earth, time to run some real racing, some points racing, and you got to get all you can, because next week it's all on the table. Anybody can win that thing, and everybody wants to be the champion.
Yeah, any and everything is on the line, no doubt about it, for what will be the final race at Oxford Plains, which will actually have a 2-day format leading up to the hype for that finale. Let's take a look at the analysis for tonight's event, the Maine Sim Racing Series. These drivers, okay, understanding that it's broke. For the Maine Sim Racing Series here tonight, I'll word it out to you. And while we're getting all that together, let's take a look at your weather conditions leading up to tonight's event, presented by Kaufman Creative. Air temp at 80, wind speed 5 miles an hour, track temperature close to 100 degrees. Ooh, 18 degrees warmer than the air temp. Mostly cloudy, sun poking, clouds poking over the racetrack. What is that going to do for the racetrack tonight, Brockton?
Yeah, Wesley, tonight that racetrack's going to be changing quite a lot throughout the night. That mostly cloudy condition is going to be the main play here. A big cloud Going over this smaller track at Stafford here, just one cloud can manage track temperatures anyway from 2 or 3 degrees to, I've seen at the most 10 degrees difference from one end of the speedway to the other. So these drivers are going to have an ever-changing track condition, and this isn't an easy track to run, Wesley.
By the way, again, it is championship race day presented by Beach Ridge Barbershop at Stafford. And these drivers are ready to go here. We're ready to set the lineup with an unexpected absence by, of course, the point leader, Matthew Burgoyne. Jason Ricker is now the man on the top of the points lead to possibly lock up the title. And now he sits 7 points ahead of Nick Dyer. Nathan Barth, of course, is right behind him with 21 points. Nate would need help to win it from bad luck by a couple of other drivers. The top 7 in the points all get paid at the end of the night. They also include Dominic Currick, Gleason Smith, Tyler Conley, and Tyler Jordan. And they all have plenty to race for. The 125-lap finale is tonight here for the championship. Now, again, this is the regular season finale for the season title, but there is the big race that is their special every year to close out the season. I know it's non-points, kind of like the All-Star race last week, but it is special coming up next week or in 2 weeks. Next week. Next week, Brockton, and that is to win at prestigious Oxford Plains Speedway.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the home track for this series. Of course, Oxford's in Maine. It's the Maine Sim Racing Series. These guys want to get that quote-unquote home track win, and a lot of these guys are going to be pushing tonight, and man, I cannot wait for next week to see how hard they truly can push these cars.
So they will qualify. They're finishing up practice right now as one car scrapes across the wall. There went Kyle Mooney going by. They will practice. Then they will qualify. Qualifying will set the lineup for their heat races, and they'll lock in a certain amount of drivers. Everyone else will then go into a heat race format. Then that race will be determined for 125 laps for the official distance of the night. And I've just been informed in my ear, thanks to Charles Wooten on Wacky Wednesday, eating tacos and all, that if the race does not get any more drivers compared to who we have right now as the 26 entries, they will scratch heat races, they will scratch the last chance race, and we will move right in to the 125 lap feature. I'm under correction. They will run heat races, but they will not run a consi, and they'll go right into the 125 lap feature championship race. Again, by the way, thanks to Beach Ridge Barbershop for being the sponsor of championship night here at Stafford. As you see the checkered flag being given over the field, we now prepare for what will be qualifying. Brockton, you got to put a fast lap down here in under 3 minutes. Do you race with the sun or with the cloud cover around the half mile?
Man, you don't have much time to wait for that perfect cloud to cover the racetrack. So get your lap in early, see what the car is going to do, and then kind of relax, get your head in the right space for this event.
Well, certainly right now we'll see what Caleb Willett has got up his sleeve trying to get started here. All these other drivers in position. Hey, Brockton, I know we got late models here, super late models with the Maine Sim Racing Series, but I do got to ask you, buddy, what's your thoughts of the big announcement of iRacing announcing that they are working on a new 2023 late model stock car for the server?
Hey, man, I think it's a great deal. It's awesome because we see these cars on the screen now, and we see them in real life, but we're also seeing a new generation of these cars as well. So being able to drive these race cars, not only in the real world, but also in sim, being able to understand them, that is such an awesome deal, and huge props to everybody involved.
Yeah, they unveiled that on iRacing about lunchtime, about 12 noon. They made that official announcement. So we watch qualifying on track now. William Barker, see what kind of lap he puts down. And what do you know, Max Cookson, the 39, 2 years in a row, the All-Star winner. Winner last week at Hickory. And right now he sits on the top of the board. Ricker now in second, Conover third. Here's Nathan Barth. Kind of an up and down race for him in the All-Star show last week at Hickory. Also, Brockton.
Yeah, Barth had a little bit of trouble keeping his nose clean, but he showed speed all night long. So it's going to be interesting to see. These guys just have to keep a clean nose and a clean race as he puts down a 19.4, about almost 2/10 off the pole lap. So right now, Cookson looking very good for his pole lap there.
Is that Matthew Burgoyne? Yes, it is.
That's
Look
Matthew
who's
Burgoyne.
back. Santa's back. Hi ho, it's off to Stafford I go. Matthew Burgoyne. Thought it was
to the top.
Maybe he wanted to. Yeah, oh, wow, look at that. Comes back after saying he's done. Puts it on the pole. 39 bumps 38. Here is Ed Conley now. 111. And I think he ran out of time.
That's what I was talking about earlier. Yep.
He certainly did. He ran out of time. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to go heat racing. We'll have a lineup for you on the bottom. On the pole, it'll be the 23. There he is. Cody Billings is going to be on the pole, followed by David Greenleaf in row number 1. The Snap-on 58. Row 2 will find Matt Mingo. Chris Fortier in the 11. Row number 3 finds Ben Burgess and Justin Gallowix in the 25. There's your first 3 rows there, Brockton.
Row 4 is going to be Dan DeSantos in that 86 and Dominic Currit in the 82. Row 5 is going to be Brian Treadwell, in that 24. Had a tough run at the All-Star event, but hopefully he'll be able to turn that around.
By the way, don't forget, coming up later tonight on iRacing on LSRTV and the Community Radio Network, it is the launch of Season 4. Back again after about a 3-year absence. The Northwest Fixed Series presented by Click It RV. That's the way you announce it, the Northwest Click It RV Fixed Series. It is Xfinity cars. Back again, a Fixed B Series. And they will do qualifying and the duels, twin 30-lappers, or a strict 45-minute time limit from the virtual World Center of Racing. Again, that's coming up tonight. The Northwest Click It RV Fixed Series. Coming up around 10, well, actually, I think so. It's about 11:15, 11:30 Eastern Time. iRacing on LSRTV and on the Community Radio Network. So we're ready to go heat racing. Let's see what these guys can do around Stafford Motor Speedway. This is a fun, exciting racetrack. And they'll give them another lap here as they pace the field. You know, Brockton, the old cliche is for championship night, scores get settled or scores are, you know, either there is a starting of wars between drivers, virtual or reality, on championship night, because it's pretty much the last opportunity to make something count for opportunity at a championship.
Yeah, these guys are going to be giving everything they can. Every inch of room will be taken by these guys, so hitting one for sure.
Field comes to the line. Green flag is out. 15 laps of distance. We're underway in heat number 1. Wow, Greenleaf, hold on to it down the back straightaway. Mingo's going to lead him into turn 3, Brockton.
Yeah, right now Mingo's being able to keep that car pointed pretty, and the 58 of Greenleaf struggling on that outside lane. We're going to see these drivers fighting for that bottom. And look at the 11, Fortier, on the apron trying to get that car to get turned.
Inside, working off the corner out of 4. Someone just smacks the wall. I believe that was Mingo. Gathers it, keeps on going. Matt Mingo, well, actually was at 48, I think they got in the wall. They save it, though. A couple of black cars falling back now, as it's Burgess now the leader in the 7 ride.
Look, Mingo had a little bit of right front damage, but that leaves Burgess almost a second gap, able to keep that car pointed straight, getting going and getting gone here, Wesley.
Holding on to that spot right now. They work their way again out of turn number 4, coming back to the line. 12, now make it 11 laps to go here in this fast heat race. Burgess is leading. Oh, my, hold on there. DeSanto. What a save, Dan DeSanto, going after Treadwell as he about got tagged by Gallowitz and the routing entry machine. Routing energy number 86 will move into the top 5.
Yeah, and DeSanto's able to keep it straight, but overshoots the corner. That's going to give Treadwell another shot and leaves Gallowitz all the way out front. We're having some serious blinking problems with the, looks like that's the 23 of Billings.
Watching them working their way into the corner. It is Burgess now the leader. 48 is now about about 3/4 of a second back, if you will. In second, sitting in third, David Greenleaf. Greenleaf having a pretty quiet run right now, if you will. Brockton just sitting in there in third, staying to the inside, trying to hold off Mingo. Obviously, last week, heartbreak for Matt Mingo. Missed the All-Star race by 1 spot in that format. He made the All-Star race, but he couldn't make it to the final segment.
Yeah, Greenleaf, a little bit of a tough go in that beginning portion, getting the car a little messed up and just wasn't able to keep it clean to the end. And we're seeing a very similar race. I'm expecting to see a pretty similar race between Hickory and Stafford. Stafford's a very narrow track with not a lot of banking. It wants the car wants to shoot up off this corner here and smack that wall where there's all those black marks on it, Wesley. So these drivers are going to have to be so patient. And just when I say it, the 24 of Treadwell hard into the outside wall.
Oh, caution. It will not fall, though. They'll still stay under the green flag. Thought we would see a yellow, but no. Rainbow Warrior number 24, Treadwell's car, falling all the way to the back. Burgess is the leader. The number 7 machine has opened up that lead to about 3/4, well, about half a second, if you will, now, because 48 is trying to come after him in a big way. As all 48 scrap the concrete, dive into the inside to make a move on Burgess, and he took him out in the turn. Oh.
What a save, but a caution.
And I tell you what, too hard out of 4. He smacked the concrete, and then it looked to me like, I wouldn't say, Brockton, that was intentional. He just was carrying so much speed going into turn 1. He got into the 7's left rear.
Yeah, that's a tough one. We saw Burgess get into the wall coming down the front straightaway, so that kind of took away his momentum here. We're going to see a replay. He hits the wall on the exit of turn 4, that same spot I was talking about, and leaves the door wide open.
See, yeah. To me, it looked like the way he exited off the corner of the front straightaway going into turn 1. That's what cost it. I don't think he was trying in any way to give him a bumper to move him out of the way.
No, it was just I don't think that's how some of these guys roll. I know the 11 of 48 is very, very clean when it comes to this kind of stuff. So I would expect that he definitely feels bad about it, and it looks like he probably took the blame for it. But at the end of the day, it looked to me like a racing deal, locked up the tires maybe, and just unfortunate circumstances.
Round 10 here tonight, the Maine Sim Racing Series at Beach Ridge Barbershop Championship Night at Stafford. And we'll get them reset to go here again with the lights off of the pace car in heat race number 1. Don't think we got any more drivers, Charles, so I think we're going to go right to the feature. Am I correct? That's what we're being told. All right, so the 3 heat races and then 125 laps. 2 heat races. My apologies. It'll be 2 heat races because we locked in the top 10 from qualifying. All right. Ready to go to the line. Green flag with now David Greenleaf on the pole to the inside. He's got 3 laps to try to get himself a heat race win. Brockton back to turn 1.
Yeah, and Greenleaf just trying to walk away, watching Burgess and Mingo just that have had issues coming out of turn 4. Side by side, so you got to be very careful. Around goes the 86. Can he save it? He does. What a great save by DeSantos.
Yeah, what a save by DeSanto. By the way, the white flag is in the air. 1 more lap to go. Look at Ben Burgess climbing through the field as Treadwell hits the wall in the Rainbow Warrior 24. Meanwhile, Greenleaf will come off the corner. He will win the heat race here at Stafford. Burgess plow the road, if you will, coming through the field fast and in a hurry. Will finish 2nd. But I'll tell you what a good heat race that was, and I'm so happy for David Greenleaf there. Brockton will have himself a good starting spot for the race.
Yeah, that was a huge win for Greenleaf there, getting that heat race. Puts a little bit of pressure off the back of his and onto some others. So very, very happy Greenleaf right there.
So ladies and gentlemen, we're ready to go now for the final heat race. And this will be the starting lineup. Ed Connolly is on the pole in the 111. William Barker on the outside in row number 1, the 66. Row 2 will find P.J. Merrill. Chris York in the 22, row 2. Row number 3 will find Cleason Smith in the 5. Tyler Conley in the 31. And the final spots will find Nick Dyer in the 88. Sean Kimball in 28. And there's the lineup. Top of the hour, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 Central, and I have to say 5 Pacific because the Pacific Northwest boys will be ready to make some noise coming up in a little bit, 11:30 Eastern Time. We'll probably go on the air around that time. Follow our LSRTV coverage on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. Coverage of the qualifying and duels from Daytona presented by Click It RV. For the Northwest Click It RV Fix Series, again, we are live. Terry Radford, John Jason Rockefeller, and myself on the call. iRacing on LSRTV and CRN tonight, Daytona. And the trucks, Brockton, were absolutely insane Monday night. The duels were crazy. Both duels were.
Daytona always produces a good show, and then you match that with an extremely talented group of guys in the Northwest Cup and Truck Series. They do an amazing job week in, week out. So glad they're back with us on LSR TV. And remember, subscribe button and turn the bell icon on to all, not just personalized or none, so you get every time we go live on LSR TV.
Well said, as the field gets ready to battle the boss hog, if you will, of Ed Connolly. William Barker alongside. Pace car is in. Green flag in the air. Final heat race of the regular season underway here at Stafford. And one is ramming the wall. Barker, something to miss in the outside pole car, falling from the penthouse to the outhouse, if you will, in less than a corner.
Yeah, not quite sure what happened to the 66 there. It's like he missed his braking point or tried to emulate Ross Chastain's move at Martinsville. I don't think that's going to work here, though, especially not with these bodies.
Yeah, I don't think it's feasible to try. Oh, hold on there. Ed Conley, the leader. Cleason Smith now battling the machine of Tyler Conley for 3rd. Every position gained is a position earned for the 100 and quarter feature coming up later tonight here at Stafford.
Yeah, these guys, some of these guys that started a little further in the back are trying to push a little harder as we're looking the Connolly and Connolly show, followed by Merle. Now, Merle was very fast, and oh, Connolly takes him out. Ed Connolly around, and there goes. Man, that was a lot.
That is all three cars going around in unison. Pirouetting, spinning into the corner. We'll watch a replay of this and look at the damage now on the car of Conley trying to scamper away. That's Connor Conley. Connor Conley battling PJ Merrill, Gleason Smith, and oh my, the Conley and Conley's got into one another. Merrill, the innocent bystander. And then really, Connor nowhere to go from there. Tyler Conley. Well, there you go, Brockton. There you see what happened. The Conley family got into one another. Tyler Conley into Ed Conley. And then Merrill, just the innocent bystander. But he kept going, so that's why he has the lead. He never spun, per se, lost forward momentum. Right, Brockton? So that's why he's being scored the leader.
Yeah, Wesley, that is correct. But we did see on that last shot there before we switched to the cameras, he's got a little bit of damage on that left side, that left rear. And I was just about to point out that PJ has been fast the last couple of weeks of racing, just hasn't been able to keep it clean. And, well, you know, it happens right before I have to say it.
Well, all I'm going to say is that a little bit of damage is, you know, cosmetic lipstick because it's short track racing. You know, so there's going to be a couple of bent fenders along the way. So hang in there, PJ Merrill. Do not lose your position. Matter of fact, Merrill coming off of that pole position for the All-Star race and then starting in the back last Wednesday night at Hickory for the All-Star race for the Maine Sim Racing Series. Back to green, and Merrill has got a big lead over Gleason Smith. That orange number 5.
Here, and he was one of the fastest cars in practice. Did not get a great qualifying lap in, however, as he's up 2 positions.
Caution.
And we got a caution.
We've got a caution. We do. I wonder if it's York and or actually it's Barker again in 66 with a problem. Barker's car already down into the infield, and the pace car will also catch the leader, Merrill. And we are under the yellow flag. Let's watch the replay of what happened. Barker in his own little world. There goes.
Oh, he's going to get some
Tyler
help.
Conley into the grass.
Well, there you go.
That was your fault. Oh, I wonder if that's kind of a little... Well, actually, he wasn't a part of the first incident with 3 cars, so I don't understand that. Oh, well. We're under yellow flag. We'll try this again here.
Yeah, that was just a little bit of, I'm faster than you, and I only have 5 now.
5 laps to go here in heat race. By the way, big thanks to Beach Ridge Barbershop for being the sponsor for this event for Stafford Championship Night for the Maine Sim Racing Series. By the way, don't forget also every Sunday, check out the new Pressbox Motorsports podcast. Dropping new downloads live and then recorded Sunday, 4 p.m. Eastern, right here on iRacing and reality events on LSRTV, Facebook, and YouTube. Hosted by the man behind the scenes, Charles Wood. Coming to the line, green flag, and boy, oh boy, Gleason might have to give that back, Brockton.
Yeah, that was a good little jump there. I'm not quite sure what the race directors and admins are gonna say about that, but we know PJ has the speed and the bumper to get by Gleason, so we'll see what he does coming into turn 1.
2 to go. Gleason Smith hugs the inside of the racetrack. Dirt tracks it a little bit. Merrill does to the back straightaway, working off the exit of the 3rd, diamond into 3 and 4. Coming to the line, white flag in the air, one more lap to go. And there goes Merrill, final time, dropping to the inside, Gleason Smith. Boy, just like we mentioned David Greenleaf and his heat race win being like a Maine victory, this will be the same for Gleason Smith if Merrill don't give him a fit. Coming to the line, Gleason Smith will do it. Saves the bumper, the bump and run and all to be able to put that 5C Country Kitchen Chevrolet to victory lane. Now the question is, Brockton, will somebody else be penalized? Could there be a penalty after this heat race is concluded? We'll have to find out. We got one more heat race left to go, heat race number 3. Why is the screen showing up white? Let's take a break. Let's take a break. We'll be right back, everybody, and we will be ready to go 125 laps when we return from Stafford.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
At Click It RV, we know there's a lot of heritage and history at this location. RV sales and service has been part of this community for decades. We knew there was an incredible opportunity here, but to see where we've come in just a year is incredible. None of it would be possible without the patronage and support from this community. So whether it be a more convenient and accessible service drive, a fully stocked parts department, or this amazing sales facility, what drives this team daily is making sure our customers leave here with the best possible experience.
All right, we're back at Championship Night presented by Beach Ridge Barbershop here at the Stafford Motor Speedway. Now, you are seeing where it says 20 to go. However, they are going to advance the session. There will not be a consolation race. Brockton and myself were under the impression there might be another heat race, but all the heat races are officially done. Top 10 locked in from qualifying. Other drivers were made it in from those heat races. And I'll tell you what, Brockton, we're about to go for the final feature race of the year. 125 laps, when the server updates.
Yeah, 125 laps, final race of the season for points, championships on the line, and these guys are going to be pushing as hard as they can to get everything they can.
Yeah, we're definitely going to watch and see how all this transpires again, as this is championship night, the final points race of the season. The way that you adapt, the way that you're able to just survive, if you will, tells the tale of who will be there at the end of the night here for championship. Because, like I said, sometimes old scores get settled, New ones possibly are started. And the Maine Sim Racing Series, without a doubt, has been very, very fun and exciting to follow this year.
Yeah, it really has been. They've had amazing races in the last 6 or 7 weeks. We've seen some amazing competition as well. These guys have been scrapping for everything they can all throughout the field, but we know who to watch, and we know that they're going to be fast tonight, Wesley.
Yeah, we certainly do. And again, as we mentioned, there's a championship that hangs in the balance. There's an opportunity for somebody behind the leader to go for the shot at the title. All of these scenarios are being determined. Of course, Matthew Burgoyne, he is the absence points leader. But Brockton, with him now being here, he's got a shot to make a presence felt and lock up the title. Maybe that's why he showed up tonight. He wants to win that championship.
Yeah, racers are racers, and we always want to win everything we can. And when you're only 21 points up or 7 points up, you're going to want to be there as much as you can so you can clinch that title and say that you won it. Even if you've got stuff to do in the real world, even if you've got racing that you have to get done, you want to win what you can, Wesley. So I think he decided, you know what, let's take a night off from the real world and let's come down on the sim racing world and try to lock up a championship.
Yeah, as right now we watch this final warm-up session, if you will, underway. Matthew Burgoyne has the points lead over Jason Ricker. Again, he sits in a prime position, though, 7 points ahead of Nick Dyer. Nathan Barth right now in the point standings, only 21 points back is, again, Dyer. Now, for Nathan Barth to win the championship, he's got to have some drivers have some bad luck. Bottom line. And the rest of the top 7 are including Dominique Current, Gleason Smith, Tyler Conley, and Tyler Jordan. With that being said, they're really hitting on the word 7. Then that means that 7 drivers automatically, numerical-wise, projectively have a shot, if you will, Brockton, if things fall their way, to win the championship tonight. 7 drivers could fight for that title.
Yeah, and even if you're not, let's say, 7th or 6th or etc. in points-paying positions where you could possibly get that championship, if you're 8th or 9th in the championship right now, you still are going to race your heart out tonight to get every position and point you can, because that top 7 at the end of the season get paid, no matter if you win the championship or not. So everybody's going to want to get that little bit of the pie. So we'll see what happens, but they've got a long race to go, Wesley. 125 laps. Man, this is going to be a good one.
Should be exciting and fun. 125 laps, as my colleague Brockton mentioned. And you know what? You got a track like Stafford that obviously it's widely known, popular up in the Northeast for it is, it's entertainment with modifieds. Now you're going to put late models on iRacing on here. This track is flat. It's over half a mile. You're going to have to bump and run and move some people out of the way. We might see some hustling and tussling tonight to get the checker flag.
Yeah, you've got to do what you can to put yourself in the right position at the end of the race. So if that means rough a couple guys up halfway or a quarter of the way through the race, you got to do what you got to do. But you got to make sure you have a car at the end of this, Wesley. I say it week in and week out, and there's drivers that are always fast but never are able to keep their car clean at the end of it. You've got to have the car at the end.
Yeah, I agree with you, my friend. Definitely going to have to save that equipment for 125 laps. To first win the race, you must first finish. I know you've heard of that, that analogy before, used in the short track world or even in the big time, as well as iRacing. And again, you got to be there at the end and don't tear your car up. Got to be there. To first win the race, you must first finish. Okay, Charles is messing with us, everybody. He's in the comedian mood tonight. He said the first win the race, you must everybody to do it. And we might see that tonight, Brockton.
Yeah, you never know. Oh. Stafford is such a bunched up and narrow track. I mean, it's a long track in the sense of a short track feel, long straightaways and then these switchback corners, but this is a narrow racetrack and you don't really have room to come off the corner 2 wide, 3 wide. So you're going to have to fight for that inside lane, maybe run the apron a little bit and get everything you can out of that car early and out of those tires early, and then block your hind end off until the end of the race.
Stafford Motor Speedway, the location, and we're under a minute remaining here before these drivers get ready to put the pedal down virtually and go to work for the final points race of the season. Now, by the way, there still is one more event next week. That is the big Oxford Classic for Oxford Plains Speedway. You want to win at Stafford, you want to win anywhere in the Maine Sim Racing Series, but my God almighty there, Brockton Packard, you want to be the man to win that final race of the year at Oxford Plains. That's their home track.
Yeah, in the Maine Sim Racing Series, you definitely want to win in the only track that we go to that is in the state of Maine. So Oxford is going to be an awesome race, but right now these drivers have to focus on what's in front of them, and that's that 125 at Stafford.
125 laps await these drivers in just a matter of moments as we get everybody into place. iRacing on LSRTV coming to you live from the virtual Stafford Motor Speedway. Brockton Packard, I'm Wesley Outland. Charles Wooten is ready to push the buttons, give you the instant replays, and have some fun for the final points race of the season for 22-23 of the Maine Sim Racing Series, presented by Beach Ridge Barbershop. And I have been given some breaking news due to jumping the restart. So here's the deal. He didn't get a penalty. He has decided to take the challenge, which means he starts on the pole. LSRTV is awarding him $25 if he can go from the back to the front. Money bonus for the 58. Here's your starting lineup for the final race of the night, the championship, presented by Beach Ridge Barbershop at Stafford for the Maine Sim Racing Series. David Greenleaf on the pole. However, he's going to the rear to take the money challenge. Jack McKee, the 10, in the JBL Studio 11, 10 alongside. Row 2, Caleb Woodland in the 60, followed by Nathan Barth in 37. Row number 3, Brian Conover, the 97, Andrew McLaughlin, 26. Row 4, Tyler Jordan, 29, Kyle Mooney in the 90. In your top 10, Jackson Ricker, Maxon Cookson, the All-Star race winner last Wednesday night. Your top 10.
Matthew Burgoyne and Gleason Smith are going to be rolling off in row 6. Row 7 is going to be Ben Bergens and PJ Merle in that 00. Row 8 is going to be Matt Mingo and Ed Connolly trying to rebound from their unfortunate events during their heat races. Justin Gallix in the 25 and William Baker in the 66 rolling off in row 9. Row 10, Wesley, is going to be Chris Porter in the 11 and Tyler Connolly in the 31.
Quick run down real fast. Brian Treadwell, the 24. Chris York in 22. Row 12, Cody Billings in 23. Nick Dyer, the 88. And the final spots will be Dan DeSanto, the 86. Sean Kimball, 28. Dominique Current, and yes, David Greenleaf is at the rear. That bumps up Brian Conover and Jack McKee to the front row. The championship race underway at Stafford. We're underway. Green is out. Championship on the line. Race on the line. The battle and the war as the field roars to the back straightaway. Brockton, oh, Merrill just got shot in the infield grass. No caution. They are aggressive, Brockton, here on the opening lap.
Yeah, Wesley, already only 2 laps into this 125 lap event tonight, and we're already seeing 3, 4 wide, cars going everywhere, and Tyler Jordan, Wesley, is in front of this race right now.
just want to jump on here and have the race director, Sean Kimball, say, come on, guys, play nice. But you are going to give it all you got right now, just after 8 p.m. Eastern time, half past the hour. Rocking and rolling here at Stafford for the final points race of the season. 125 circuits, winner, and a championship on the line. It's Tyler Jordan, the 29 car up in front. Look at this battle now with Gleason Smith and the Conley family. We saw them spin earlier.
Yeah, and there was a slow car down there. I'm not sure who it was, but they got it rolling all the way to the top goes Gleason Smith. Just a little bit of a miscue on the brake zone, and it shoots you around. You lose tens of spots.
125 laps the distance. We're about 5 laps in, 120 remaining. We'll keep an eye on where David Greenleaf is. We're watching him take the challenge. $25 bonus from LSRTV if he does it. And right now, he has passed almost 9 cars, if you will. Brockton, he's up to 16th now, going around Treadwell. 10 cars in 7 laps.
Yeah, this part of the field is where he has to be very, very careful. He knows he's faster than these cars by quite a large margin. He's got to take care of his car, and he's got to get it to the end. But right now, he's got a roadblock between Ed Connolly and the 24 there.
Somehow trying to survive as Treadwell rides up the concrete here at Stafford. Greenleaf to the inside. Ricker to the bottom. Ricker, one of those drivers that could be in the run for a championship. And by the way, Matthew Burgoyne, the points leader, is in the top 5.
Yeah, right now, if he stays in that top 5, nobody should be able to take that championship away from him. But he's got to make it to the end of this race. I know I've said it 1,000 times, but it's so important. And already a caution at lap 10, Wesley.
And I think it's Brian Treadwell. Problems with the DuPont Quaker State colors of the number 24 machine. We'll find out what happened as the caution falls for the first time this evening. Got about 9 laps in before the yellow flag fell. Old Ricker alongside the 9. He's another one of those championship contenders. Oh boy.
Yeah, we're looking here, and oh, look out.
Ed Conley tried to make a move on the outside. I think he might have thought he was clear, and instead he ran right into the 24 there, Brockton.
Yeah, the aerodynamics of these cars, even though they are virtual bricks, it sucks you in a little bit. So Ed could have been holding a straight line that he thought was going to work and just got sucked into the left front of the 24, and around they both go. The 24 almost went up and over, so very lucky that those drivers are able to keep going.
Caution out. NOS Energy Drink Tide Ride. Tyler Jordan. His Ford leads the way. Barthen second. Wayne, of course, Conover. Brian Conover to third. Jack McKee falling back to fourth. Matthew Burgoyne is your top 5. Ben Burgess, Kyle Mooney, Andrew McLaughlin, Matt Mingo, Justin Gallowitz, your top 10. Keynote drivers to follow coming through the field. Also, Brockton, Matt Mingo up 6 spots tonight. Justin Gallowitz up 7 spots in the top 10, as I just mentioned. Tyler Conley, we saw Ed Conley, his dad have problems. Tyler Conley has climbed up 8 spots to 12th. David Greenleaf flying through the field. He is now in the top 15 and 14th on the racetrack. Championship points on the line, laps on the line, qualifying on the line, 75, 70, 65, 60, 5 points back on each position at the race end. And Matthew Burgoyne has already got 2 points up on everyone else as the points leader, as the points are accurate, with being the fast qualifier of the night as we go back to Green Brockton.
Yeah, and these guys back in the back, this is where Greenleaf is going to have to be very, very careful. He already jumped 2 spots off of that one restart. He's up in 11th now on our ticker, but he is, oh, and they're wrecking. the 97,
Wow,
and I'm not sure who else.
That's Conover. Brian Conover. Wow. Caution out again. Check out the replay here. Man, oh man. Look at this, Conover alongside, battling Jack McKee. Matthew Burgoyne, points leader. Boy, he's lucky he stayed to the inside, isn't he, Brockton? Conover in the fence.
Yeah, it sounded like there was a little more carnage than that. I'm not sure if the 10 shot down the racetrack after the fact. But man, he's lucky to not... the 97 is very lucky not to have more damage than he already does, because that was a pretty big hit to the inside, or the outside wall, excuse me.
Follow the Maine Sim Racing Series on Facebook at Maine Sim Racing Series, obviously. Appreciate everybody for checking it out and joining us at LSRTV as well on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And we ain't done yet. Hey, man, I only think we're getting started now, Brockton.
And I just want to point out, I'm looking at the point sheet right now for the Maine Sim Racing Series, and Tyler Jordan is P8 right now, and he's only 8 points away from Tyler Connolly. Where he's at right now, he could very easily jump 2 or 3 positions in the championship running and put himself in a payout position. So these points are all throughout the field, Wesley. There's battles everywhere you look.
I wish that somebody could send me the link where I could see the entire point standings, because I'm not finding them anywhere. I'm looking on the Maine Sim Racing Series Facebook. I didn't know they had an official website.
Yeah, I did a little detective work to find that one. So there you go.
Thank you, Brockton.
My pleasure, my pleasure.
And it was on Facebook after all, wasn't it?
There's to get it through Facebook, yes.
Got you. Anyhow, follow Maine Sim Racing Series on Facebook. While you're doing that, LSRTV, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Hit that subscribe button, as we mentioned earlier. Don't forget, coming up tonight, about 2.5 hours from now, about 3 hours from now, actually, we'll have coverage of the Northwest Click It RV Fixed Setup Series, the Xfinity cars from Daytona, qualifying, and the duels. Big race for this series next week, Oxford Plains. We're ready for the green flag. Tyler Jordan looking to win the battle and the war, possibly on the restart. Burgoyne, though, on the inside, the points leader on the inside of Arthin, too.
Already, West got a huge wreck. It looks like the 66 is involved. Maybe the 24 involved. A lot of guys falling down the order early here in this race, and oh, there goes the pace car trying to catch up to those guys.
$100 to the champion, 80, 60, 40, 30, 20, 20. Top 7 get money. And as we mentioned, probably 8 drivers. I don't even think mathematically they tried to say Jordan had a chance. He's got an opportunity to win the championship. Look at this. Oh, boy. Cookson, York, Treadwell, Barker, all those cars involved over there in the corner.
Yeah, that's a weird one. It just looked like a stack up. I'm not sure who was sideways or if anybody even got sideways, but that's very interesting.
You know what surprises me? A driver like Max Cookson, not in the running for a championship. You see how talented he is. Obviously, 3 wins this year. The All-Star race win last week at Hickory, and he is in the back for the points all the way in like 11th or 12th.
Yeah, Cookson right now is in 11th position. Had a very, very good season, but just wasn't... when it went wrong, it went very wrong. He missed 3 races this season, and being able to come to every race and race every race is so important in a championship format like this. And our leader, current leader, the 29, is 84 points off of the championship lead, so mathematically he will not be able to clinch a championship tonight.
Yeah, hands down. We'll have to follow this here. It's, again, 7, maybe 8 drivers, as we mentioned, fighting for this opportunity. They raced all over this year for the season, including Myrtle Beach, North Wilkesboro, Bristol, Nashville, Irwindale, Indianapolis, New Hampshire, Hickory. That was an all-star race. Stafford is a points race, the final points race for championship. It'll be Nathan Barb, Tyler Jordan on the front row. 100 laps to go when they come to green here at Stafford. Wow, battle for 4th and 5th.
Carnage in the back.
They're wrecking again. Oh, there's Ricker, one of the points contenders involved. We heard squealing, didn't we?
Yeah, I saw it for a frame and a half, maybe, the roof of a car going the wrong way, so I'm not quite sure who was turned in that one. It might have been Rooker. Let's find out here. Replay.
That's the 9
this
of Jason
is once
Ricker.
again.
Yeah, let's watch this here, my friend. See what happened here. Ironically, Cookson alongside the 39 we just mentioned. Oh,
Whoa.
We got bounced off of somebody.
That
oh,
23.
wow, this turned out more than just a 9 car.
Front.
It's Cody Billings.
Yeah, that was interesting. Huh. I'm not really sure what to make of that. It looks like there was a wreck in front of that, but that 23 just turned straight down the track.
Yeah, Cody Billings came down on the 39 of Max Cookson, who we were just talking about, ironically, and then Cookson plows into the right side of the number 9 of Jason Ricker. We are short track racing, so you might have a little cosmetic short track, a little damage along the way. Don't give up the fight. That's all I got to say for Jason Ricker.
Yeah, we're short track racing, but he needs to make sure that his car is clean at the end of this thing. I will say it looks like Gleason Smith in the number 5 car. He's been on pit road for 16 laps, 8 minutes almost, and it looks like he's going to be out. Ben Burgess is showing to be out. Nope, he's back on the track. So it looks like Gleason Smith at the moment, the only car looking to be out of this race.
To try to make the show go by faster as well, because we have other broadcast obligations coming up at 11:30 Eastern, the caution laps are counting in this race as well. 30 laps in. And let's be honest here, there's been more green flag laps, or more caution laps under caution slowly under yellow than there are green. Right now, there's your Virginia 811 call before you dig analysis so far. 4 cautions, totaling 17 of 30 laps, so 13 laps have been under caution or under green, and 1 lead change. That's been it. That's all that's gone on.
Yeah, and Wesley, that fact right there that we've run more under caution is exactly why the league app and the boys up in the race control booth have decided to make this a single file restart.
I don't blame them. Couple of times doing 2x2. They wreck them, they wad them up. Let's try to go single file now to get some laps in here. Green flag, Jordan, Burgoyne, Barth, top 3, Mooney, McKee, top 5, and we're back at it at Stafford. Burgoyne on the inside, looking for the lead, and a championship on Jordan.
Oh, he's gonna turn Jordan. Whoa!
Jordan,
that's not how to do it.
And Burgoyne falls back to 8th. Jordan is going to draw a caution. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Brockton, I am the realist of knowing that you're racing hard, but Jordan was not gonna lift and let the 38 get by him. Watch the replay here. He was gonna take his own self out, and he did.
Yeah, these guys were beating and banging for everything they can. Jordan said, I don't care what you're racing for. A race win's a race win, and I'm not going to give that up. So, I mean, you can't flip it. Man, they were sideways more than they were going straight that whole time. I mean,
Burgoyne
we
is
saw
going to fall to 8th.
Yeah, and we saw it through that aerial view. I mean, Burgoyne was on the apron, Wesley. That light gray portion of the track is not technically the track. Guys run down there to loosen their car up a little bit, but he was fully on the apron, so really nowhere else for him to go except back out a little bit. But wow, what will you do to win the race?
David Greenleaf up 22 spots to 4th in 35
He's
laps.
kept it clean too. I don't think there's a scratch on that 58 car.
Picking him up and putting him down. He wants that bonus from LSRTV. Whew, wow. It's not over yet. Welcome to Stafford. Welcome to the championship. And by the way, thanks to Beach Ridge Barbershop for sponsoring championship night for the Maine Sim Racing Series. Presented by Mainly Ductless Heating and Air. iRacing on LSRTV. I'm Wesley Outland, Brockton Packard alongside Charles Wooten, handling the production, and it has been, without a doubt, a wild one. You just saw the first place points man and a driver that's the number 8 in the points, fighting for a win, fighting for a championship. How bad do you want it? He drove him all the way to the infield grass to stop him from getting the lead, Jordan did, and he put his own self out with a caution flag to do.
Yeah, these guys, if you don't think a championship race doesn't mean anything to the guys that don't have a shot at the championship, you're wrong, because these guys are going to do everything they can to get that race win, to say that they are a winner in the Maine Sim Racing Series. Because you go into Oxford next week with a win at Stafford, you never know what could happen, but you sure do have a lot of momentum.
Lights off for the pace car, ready for the field to come back to the green flag on lap number 36. Now 37. And whoa, we got trouble
out.
again. My goodness, Justin Gallowix in the wall. Another car scraped the retaining wall, rolled away. York might have got collected in it. And caution is out as fast as we got started. Here is a replay coming up. My. Come on, guys. And I'll say this again, Brockton. They tried to go single file on the restart.
Yeah, and the issue with the single file restart is drivers tend to build gaps. We see that in this shot, there's not a single car in there except the 25. He's got a gap to everyone around him. This is the pace lap prior to
He hit the wall under caution.
The drop of the green. I guess so. Maybe there's an aerodynamic advantage. I don't think so. But
he just
these
pancaked
guys,
the wall and concrete the tire in the right rear.
Yeah, these guys are trying to build gaps and be able to time this jump perfectly so they can get in front of the guys behind. And I believe that is going to be. All right, there we go. Yeah, just a bump too much.
Tyler Conley. That was Tyler Conley that just gave him a little shove there. Can we just say in a nice way, Justin Gallowix might have been holding up the outside lane, taking up all that space on the restart with a gap, and Tyler Conley said, I'm coming through, get out of my way.
Yeah, it's a tough one. It kind of looks like he just was too focused on the back bumper of the 25 and got into him a little bit. You never know, but I know that these guys are very aggressive on these restarts because you got to get them when you can, and these tires are going to eventually start falling off. But man, if they don't hurry up and get some green flag racing in here, that pace car is going to have to get some more gas in it.
Championship on the line, points on the line. And by the way, these are a lot of real drivers or pit crew members at tracks across the Northeast. And as their things are beginning to wind down for the Sim Series, they'll be ready to hit back to the real tracks. Wiscasset, Oxford Plains, all these other tracks up north in Maine, Vermont, Thunder Road. Check them out. Barth is the leader. Mooney alongside now. Jack McKee, the outside pole car, along with the pole car of David Greenleaf right there in row 2. Greenleaf is up to 4th. Chris Fortier, the Canadian of the M&M Auto Repair, number 11. Merrill, pole car at the All-Star race at Hickory last week. Your top 6 with Conover, who had a caution earlier. Back in the top 10 with Caleb Willett, Ed Conley. Brockton, we're back to green on lap number 43 of 125.
Yeah, and they double filed again, so this is going to be chaos once again. And the spinner, it's the 60 car possibly. And Greenleaf somehow keeps it going in the right direction.
Merrill got bounced off Greenleaf. As the smoke clears, Cody Billings, Kyle Mooney wrecked over there in turn 1 and 2. Oh my. Here's your replay.
Yeah, and this started up in the front of the field with Mooney. I'm not quite sure what happened. I think somebody just got a little too ambitious. But we went back to double file, Wesley, giving these guys a little less wiggle room when it comes down to the swing of things. And it's just one thing led to another, and we'll see here where we should be doubling up here in the next lap or two.
Yeah, this is a replay, by the way, of everything that just transpired before the accident. Hopefully we can show you what happened before we go back to green flag. As Mooney is the leader. Barth alongside. Here you go. They're getting set now to go to the 2x2 for the restart. 1 to go. Lights are off on the pace car. And when they came back around, that's when all this chaos ensued. I will let you know, Greenleaf bounced off of Merrill's car. He avoided the majority of the accident, but I wonder how much damage might be on the 58 and if that will bother him. He's right now in that 3rd position. All right, we went all the way back to a long beginning of a rerun, and now we settle up here, Brockton, for what took place on the restart here on lap number 44.
Yeah, we're going to see Barth get a great restart, and Mooney's going to take that inside lane, try and filter down in it. Oh, man. The 10 of, I'm not sure who that is. Jackie McKee. Just a little more than a bump and run, I'd say, on that one.
Yeah, and I'll say Mooney gave Barth plenty of room. Excuse me? Oh, understanding the front 2 cars just made contact under the yellow flag. I don't know if that was intentional or by accident. Nathan Barth and PJ Merrill. Here's my point I was trying to make before we get the 1 to go and go back to green here next time by. Mooney gave Barth plenty of room. It was McKee that punted the 90 from behind that caused him to go around. And then it collected everyone else.
Yeah, and since this track is just such a short track, it's so narrow, it's hard to move around with this little banking. It's 7 and 9 degrees of banking, respectively. These guys are struggling to get away from these wrecks as we go back to green.
Back to green. Ready for this again here as we are approaching about 50 laps in of 125.75 to the finish of the race and the season. Thanks again to Beach Ridge Barbershop. Boy, they know when to sponsor these races for the Maine Sim Racing Series, and they're getting their money's worth tonight, no doubt. Green flag. Try to get some green laps Green flag runs under our belt is what I meant to say, as McLaughlin now battles with Barth. The leader, correction, he battles with Willett, I meant to say, into the corner.
Yeah, and right now it's the battle of or survival of the fittest. We're seeing a lot of damage on a lot of these cars. First of all, McLaughlin, that front end is almost destroyed. He's got to be careful not to get too much more damage on the front of that car, but he's also got to get around the 60 car of Willett as we're looking back right now.
I don't mean to say this in a facetious manner, Brockton, but you see this happen at real tracks all the time. Weed out the bad cars, weed out the wrecks, weed out the cars that, you know, are going to be the yellow caution fillers, if you will. And yeah, well, here you go. We got another caution. They at least got 2 or 3 laps under their belt this time before the yellow got drawn. It's Jordan.
Yeah, and it looks to be Jordan. Man, from bad to worse.
What might have been for the 29. By the way, Matthew Burgoyne is in the same predicament, though. He's in the back of the top 15 and 13th, though, Brockton.
Yeah, and he just came down pit road, so a couple of guys have come down pit road for just some normal service, and other guys have come down for a little more extensive repair. We'll see, based off his pit time, which one he falls under. But we're looking at the 29 of Tyler Jordan here. A little bit of a checkup in front of him. He's going to try to get to the inside of the 6.6, and whoa!
Wow.
A little bit of net code here and there, and turned up the track.
Trying to make something work on the bottom of the racetrack and just not having patience, if you will. And I think it cost him. You know, shooting from the inside up to the top of the wall. From the apron to the outside wall. And again, just luckily he didn't get anything worse than maybe flat spotting tires, if anything, for what just took place there. Nobody got into him.
Yeah, he got very lucky for only getting a minimal amount of damage. That car still should be all right, although the tires are probably going to be a little warm, so it'll try to jump out on him a little bit. Matthew Burgoyne went down pit road for 11 seconds, almost a 12-second pit stop, so he's got 4 fresh tires, Wesley, so we got to keep an eye on the points leader. That 38 going to be starting 19th on this restart.
Again, don't forget tonight, 11:30 Eastern Time, the Northwest Click It RV Fixed Series and the duels. My apologies, it is 10:30 Eastern Time. We are going live at 10:30. 10:30 Eastern, 9:30 Central. Because obviously we're going to try to cover qualifying. Hopefully that doesn't become a debacle like Monday did. Just keep everybody past the start-finish line this time. Line them up 3 wide on the pit road or something. So I think they've troubleshooted and figured out what that problem was. And then the twin 30-lap duels, 75 miles, will be also on a 45-minute time limit. And I believe tomorrow night is the debut of the new... Okay, scratch that. Due to real racing obligations, the events that were scheduled for Thursday has now been canceled. So we're back to green. We're coming up on halfway as well. Brockton, as they take the green, what's your thoughts of the first half of this race here at Stafford? Oh, they're not. Well, fight for second. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, this race has been physical all night long, and we're not going to see that stop. These guys are out for everything they can. The 60 car, Willett, is kind of a face we haven't seen in the front very often. However, oh, big hit.
Trouble, back straight away. Matt Mingo. Mingo turn, Jordan turn, York turn, Mooney involved. Oh, my. And it started with the 111 of Ed Conley turned on the backstretch. The 111 is where it all got broke apart. Just before halfway, Brockton.
Yeah, just one thing led to another. We're not in a track that you can go 3 wide and then maneuver around a wreck. We see that white car just left of the screen there. That was Matthew Burgoyne getting around it. Very good heads-up play, and it looks like, Wesley, the driver who has finished in the top 3 5 weeks in a row might be out of this. Max Cookson in pit road? Or actually, nope, he's not on pit road anymore, but he is 2 laps down, and that's going to be a tough thing to come back from.
Help me out here, Brockton. You're kind of tallying up the points and the tallies and everything to shake it up to be. Ricker, could he get back in this, or is Nathan Barth right now the dominant threat that could look to win the championship here?
You know, it's hard to tell right now because we have such a long race to go. But right now, Burgoyne is still able to cover his points lead. Rooker is, they're all kind of able to go right now. So get a little further later, just to touch more and get those answers. But right now, it's anybody's game.
Yeah. Well, Nathan Barth, 10 points behind Matthew Burgoyne. Matthew Burgoyne, the points leader, and by the way, he has had his shares of craziness tonight. He is all the way in the top 15 and 14th on the track. Still on the lead lap, but he is still in the, top 15 on the racetrack, so. Looks like Dan DeSanto is the last car projectively on the lead lap. Tyler joining Kyle Mooney on the pit lane. And I will tell you this also, Brockton, if you pit, you got to pit and exit quickly because caution laps are counting as we are now officially halfway through the 125-lap season finale here at Stafford.
And these guys have to be very strategic with their pits. We've seen a lot of cautions tonight, so maybe the tires aren't going to be spun around a couple times or been hit a couple times. That aero damage and the heat in the tires, it's better to just get some cold tires on that thing and fix the damage and try and regroup.
We'll see how they reset here. We'll try this again with Barth, Merrill, Greenleaf, 1, 2, and 3. Willett, Conover, top 5. Oh, Greenleaf, hold on. Boy, I thought Willett was going to turn him in at 1. He fought and saved that spot. Rod, now Conover to the outside. Greenleaf will battle. He's to the inside now.
Oh, careful. A little bit of wheel hop on the entry. That third spot away from Greenleaf into the wall, and Willett's going to try to follow Conover all the way through. Conover gets the spot. Greenleaf's trying to fight back on the outside, Wesley.
And what a drive. Greenleaf somehow trying to stay in the hunt of the top 5. He fell back and he smacks
there
the
he
ball.
goes.
And he's in the grass and he hits one of the potholes in the infield. Or the caution's out. He hit one of the well drains in the infield is what I meant to say. And the yellow is out. Treadwell, Greenleaf. Who else? Closing in on 70 laps in here at Stafford. Here's a replay, Brockton. Man. Was that Ricker and Treadwell?
I think it was.
The 9 and 24, I think those are the cars that got together. Could we see a bleep view of this on the replay? See if we can go up top. Look from another, yeah, there's Ricker, yep. Yeah, thank you. Aerial coverage all the way is presented by LSRTV. Watch the 9 into the 24. Burgoyne is behind him. Here's a nice look at it leading up to the chaos next time around.
We're seeing Ricker hold a pretty line on the inside, and now it's all going to kick off. They're going to go down. It's the 7 that gets into both the 9 and the 24.
So why was Greenleaf in the grass? That was an after effect of the accident. Greenleaf and someone else. Greenleaf drove in the grass on his own. Yes.
Yeah, Greenleaf hit the wall off of 4 and went into the grass, and that kind of triggered this whole event. Everybody was checking up, trying to see where he was. And it caused that.
Greenleaf smacked the outside wall on the front stretch, and then he drove the car to the infield grass and hit the well drain, which is actually real at Stafford. I've been to Stafford. There are well drains in the grass, which basically, you know, takes the water when it rains and it makes the track dry quickly. It makes the grass get dried faster than usual with those well drains. And we're back underway. We're closing in on what will be 50 laps to go here at Stafford.
Yeah, right now Barth holding strong. That car looks very, very clean for what's been going on in the race. Merle, different story. He's had some smashes, but here for third is about the best we've seen all night. Whittle trying to get to the inside over. Just not quite going to get there. Don't look now. Here comes Ricker. He's all the way up into 6th, Wesley.
Ricker, one of those drivers that are in the hunt for a championship. Remember, I think he's 2nd in the points behind Burgoyne. 10 points back. Well, actually, they're tied. Are they tied? Yeah, they're tied. Apologies. They're tied for a championship. Matthew Burgoyne and Jason Ricker are tied. Nick Dyer is 5 points back. I don't even think Nick showed up tonight. Nathan Barth is the leader. That's the biggest wild card of everything right now as we watch this battle going on in the 6th position. Wow.
And these boys right in front 26 there. That was basically the battle for the championship. If it keeps going this way, and Burgoyne was able to clear Ricker.
Back straight away into that 3rd turn with 77 of 125 on the board now. Under 50 laps to go. With Barth, Merrill, Conover 1, 2, and 3. That's the way it stands. Well, Brockton, do you think things might have kind of calmed down here a little bit now? Now we can race to the finish?
I wouldn't be surprised if the boys up in the race control booth told everybody to settle down a little bit and just run their own race. It's a long way to go still. But right now, Burgoyne showing why fresh tires are so important. Came all the way basically from the back up into the top 10, trying to break into that top 3.
Mooney, by the way, problems earlier in the race, fought his way back through the field. Now trying to hold off the likes of Andrew McLaughlin. The 266 car, triple digits on the red, white, and blue machine. Ricker, right there in 7th.
Ricker under fire from Mooney. He's going to surrender that 7th place. About 3 cars now in between his closest competitor. Burgoyne 5 trying to track on Whittle. Cars getting in the wall, nothing to worry about.
Brockton, when do you, per se, have to start being patient and racing smart, especially if you're one of those guys that are not running for the champion, not racing for a win, but look at the bigger picture of running for the championship?
Wesley, I would have started. Whoa, we got loose there. That's a little bit of impatience. Burgoyne knows he's fast enough to go to the front, and he's going to turn the 60. Oh, and a big shot.
Slammed
the
into
25
by Justin Gallowitz as well. Penny for your thoughts, Chief.
Oh man. And you know, I can't really blame that on the 60. He held his line. Burgoyne moved him up the track a little bit, a little much, had him jacked up out of turns 1 and 2. See it again.
Got to the left
kind
rear.
of drove into him.
He had a run. He had a run and he went for it. By the way, Tyler Conley avoiding that, staying up on the wall, up in the marbles. And by the way, this was also the longest green flag run of the race. And here comes a lot of cars coming down to the pit lane.
Yeah, this is going to be where most of these drivers are going to take their set of tires, put some gas in it, maybe car down a little bit so it's a little more stable through the long run. But one person, two guys actually, who have not gone down pit road, that's Nathan Barth and PJ Merle. They have both stayed on track this entire race. 85 laps on those tires, Wesley.
There's your Press Box Motorsports Podcast Top 5. We'll take a quick break. The finish. Oh, okay. Just showing a new overlay. Okay. Well, normally when he shows that box, we normally think we're going to break. So, sorry. Press Box Motorsports Podcast every Sunday, 4 p.m. Eastern Time. And yes, there's some of the new overlays that as we show you your top 5. Longest green flag run of the race, by the way, just took place. Let's take a look at the Virginia 811 call before you dig. Racing analysis of the caution summary so far. Bottom left. Wow. Wow. 11 cautions, Brockton Packard. 49 laps have been ran under yellow. Only 2 lead changes. That's it.
Yeah, and we said that the intensity was going to be high and the do or die was going to be there this race. Before we even turned a lap, we knew this was going to be chaos and a lot of tempers would be tested. And, you know, the only driver who has, I guess, tested track limits to the extent that I would expect was Matthew Burgoyne. We have seen him passing the apron at the lap, and you can do that here. There's such thing as a yellow line rule, and with this racetrack, you don't want to hit that yellow line because it is in the grass, but Burgoyne has gotten very close, and he just has to be patient, Wesley, to make sure he has that car good enough to get to the end.
All is fair in love and war in the virtual reality race war as they come to the line. Coming to the start, this is lap number 88. Barth inside, Merrill outside. And the man trying to lock up a championship, Burgoyne, is caught over. Shoots up the track, they're wrecking behind them. And look, I think that's Gallowix and Treadwell. Barker, Jordan, wrecked. Caution out again at lap 90 at Stafford. A dozen yellow flags now in this race. Brockton, what you seeing, buddy?
A lot got one for everything they can, and a couple guys just not in the right place at the right time, which is unfortunate, man. These guys are doing everything they can, but unfortunately they're just so far back in the pack, they feel like they have to be Superman at the front, which in reality they just got to turn some laps to see where the car is going to go.
And let's be honest, a majority of the accidents have happened on restarts when they are double file. And here it is again. Man. By the way, Merrill is now the new leader in the 47 machine. 00. Barth in the 37, correction, has fell back to second. And Merrill is nowhere in the hunt for a championship. He's just out here racing. I mean, he's in 9th. $100 to the champion, $80 for second, $60 for third, $40 for fourth, $30 fifth, $20 sixth, and $20 seventh for the point fund. Not to mention what the race is paying. David Greenleaf, by the way, Brockton, took the challenge as the lights go off for the pace car. He is still in the top 10. Can he make a run, late rally, if you will, to try to win this thing? There you see his car, the Snap-on 58. It might be a little beaten, battered, and bruised, but he's still in the game.
To be the bearer of bad news, but we only have about 12 minutes left of race time before these drivers run out of time. So at this point, it's looking like it's going to be a timed race instead of our scheduled 125 laps.
Especially if they keep wrecking. 94 of 125 laps. And I think we just got them wrecking again on the backstretch. I saw a
Track
car
stays
turn.
green.
Jordan and Barker, Burgess, they pulled away. We stay green. Enough is enough, and Barth goes back to the lead. Burgoyne to second, Mooney to third, Merrill falls back to fourth, and here comes Ricker back in the top 5.
Yeah, as the race comes to a close, these guys are doing everything they can, and around goes the 86. No caution yet. They're trying to keep this green.
Dan DeSanto in the grass. Mooney sideways as he dirt tracks off 2. Merrill to his inside, driver left.
Yeah, Mooney's car has come to life in the last lap or so. He's done a great job. Took a pit stop and the 97.
Brian Conover airborne going to turn 1.
Whoa.
Ed Conley, Tebow, he hits him in the front nose. Another car littered, I believe that is Chris Fortier's car. Wrecking on the front stretch going to turn 1 before lap 100. And the caution's out for the 13th time.
Yeah, and we talked about it. And whoa, that was a wild ride there. Oh.
Wow.
We talked about it. Coming off of 4, that car wants to go straight to the wall. Let it go to the wall. You're going to have a wild ride. Unfortunate for the 97 of Brian Conover, but we got to get this 25 more laps by the time we go back to green. It's going to be a close one.
That was Brian Conover, Chris Fortier, Ed Conley. Dan DeSanto obviously into the infield grass, and the 59 of Matt Mingo. Wow. Chris Fortier also involved, the Canadian, the 11. And we are about to pop up lap 100 on the scoreboard in 2 more laps. Well, the good news is there's a time limit. The bad news is you want to see these guys go the distance, but it's kind of in their hands, isn't it, bud?
Absolutely. These guys control their own race, their own destiny, if you will. But right now, everybody's going to be looking at this first 2 rows. You've got Nathan Barth, Matthew Burgoyne, PJ Merrill, and Jason Ricker. Your top 3 in points are in this top 4. So this single restart, Wesley, may be the most important one of the night.
Make it or break it, as they say. We're ready to try this here. Lights still on the pace car. Well, Ricker is giving Burgoyne a fit. So is also Barth. Merrill was in 8th in the point standings, outside, or 9th actually. So we still got a heck of a battle for, if you will, the race, but not only the race, the championship, Bob Brockton. This has been highly entertaining here at Stafford tonight.
Yeah, and right now, Burgoyne has to get off the line clean, has to make sure he's tight on Nathan Barth's bumper so he doesn't give a guy like Ricker or Greenleaf, who's in the top 5, a chance to get around him. Because right now, this is going to be the biggest restart of the season.
We have officially passed 100 laps. We're under 25 to go. It'll be 23 laps remaining when they come back to the restart zone in turn number 4. Barth and Burgoyne ready to go alongside Merrill and Ricker. McLaughlin top 5. Greenleaf is 6th. for the LSRTV money bonus if he can win. Green flag back out. 23 to go here at Stafford. Battle for the lead. Points leader looking to win the war as well. Burgoyne and Barth go at it to the back straightaway.
Yeah, right now, Burgoyne had to go up the track, got a little bit loose. A great save by the driver of the 38, but that allows PJ Merrill and that 0 to get around him. And that is one that Burgoyne does not want to see slip away. He's going to have to do everything he can to get back past him.
Certainly wants to save it, wants to stay in the game down the front straightaway to the line. 21 to go. And right now, Barth is on the catbird seat, doing what he needs to do to put himself in contention. This is the run for the money in the payout window. 20 laps to go when they flash under the line here at Stafford.
And Burgoyne's going to try to get it done on the top side. Not a lot of passing on the top side, but it's about the only way he's going to be able to get it done. And we've got a car around, but no caution, keeping it green. And
yes, it is.
Just as I say it.
Tyler Conley, Ben Burgess is in the grass. Caution out. Oh, 14th yellow of the night, by the way. Ben Burgess was spun, and so was Tyler Conley in the 11. There's a look at what happened as he slid into the wall over the side of the Mooney car into the grass.
Yeah, that was
missed the water drain, but kept on going there, Brockton.
Yeah, it's a good thing he missed that water drain, because I've seen a couple cars jump up and down and flip around, even in sim here, if they hit those. So it's good for the driver of the 31 or the 11, which Tyler Conley aimed to keep it going.
In simulation or reality, Brockton Packard as well, I have seen cars hit water drains in the infield, if you will, in the infield grass. And then you watch these cars, you know, fly up in the wall or fly up in the air. Sorry, is what I meant to say. And or like what happened to Chris Buescher at Charlotte last year in the Coke 600. He wrecked, spun in the grass, hit the water drain in the middle of the infield at Charlotte, and it barrel rolled his car end over end in the new next-gen cars. The same could be done here at iRacing. We've seen some pretty crazy accidents where cars have wrecked, hit the infield water drain, and they go flying through the air, or they mess up the entire front end of your car.
Yeah, and these guys right now are going to have they're going to have to do everything they can, Wesley, because we've got 5 minutes left in this race. It's 9:15 over on the West Coast. 5 minutes left in this race. They've got to do what they can. 17 laps to go, possibly.
17 remaining, 5 minutes to go. If you do the math, they might be able to knock off the distance in less than 5 minutes. If we get another caution, I think that's going to change it all, and this race will be called on time.
You're absolutely correct,
Wesley.
Wesley.
In the fence. Go ahead, buddy. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. All of these guys are fighting as hard as they can, but they know that if one more caution comes out, they're definitely not going to get this race in.
And there it is.
There it goes.
This is, I believe, McLaughlin. Correction, Cody Billings, Fury race car number 23, and the other car behind him, Treadwell, I don't think was caught up in that accident. He's just off the pace. I think it's William. Was it Tyler Conley?
It was, yeah. Tyler Conley in the 23.
And then Matt
Cody
Mingo.
Billings.
And then Matt Mingo, 59. Matt Mingo's the one that was turned up there in the fence. This race might get maybe one more shot at a restart, but I don't think it's going to finish on lap 125, Brockton. They've ran out of time here. Let's take a look again, thanks to Brian Morehouse and Virginia 811. Call before you dig. The caution summary for the event is 15 cautions. 64 of 112 laps have been under yellow flag conditions. 4 lead changes. That's it. We might get this race going
Wesley,
again, But if my timer with that new clock that Charles, our producer, convinced me to buy is in sync with the world clock, they've got less than 2 minutes and 20 seconds before 9:20 Eastern time, and that's it. And then this race is called.
Yeah, so we're mathematically, if we can get going here, we could click off 10 laps. I'd say we're looking at about a 5-lap shootout here. So it's going to be anybody's game, and they're going to race as hard as they can, Wesley.
So this is it. Green flag. Somehow, some way, they'll try to race to the checkers and knock off as many laps as they can. 2 minutes, under 2 minutes remaining. Back straightaway. Nathan Barth, the leader. Holding off Burgoyne. Rickers behind him. They are wrecking again in the back straight, the turn 3 and 4. Matt Mingo. Tyler Conley. And this race is going to be officially over. With 10 laps to go, they might get 2 more laps under caution, Brockton. This race is going to be officially done.
Yeah, which is just unfortunate to see, you know, Wesley. 10 laps to go. This was such a great race, very physical. But, you know, that's how it goes sometimes here in short track racing. You get a big turnout and you get some wreck. Fortunately, it's not going to finish under green.
There's under a minute remaining. 10 seconds is left on the clock officially until 9:20 Eastern time, 8:20 Central. And again, when that happens, race is going to be considered official because they have gone over their time limit. We are efforting, thinking the checkered flag will be displayed this time by
right here
for Nathan Barth. Right here, checkered flag is out. Next lap. Okay, I didn't see finish yet, so maybe one more lap. Are they going to try to go back to green? Might give them one more lap to try to get it done here, or they might race back to the start-finish line and the checkers are called. We've seen these scenarios be different on occasions. Barth and Merrill, are they going to get one lap to try to finish this here? They're going to get one lap. They're going to go to the line and the checker's out. That's it. They race to the checker flag and Nathan Barth will win. It was like a drag race, if you will, coming off of turn 4. And now it's over and they're going to crash and have a demo derby. Shades of the Northwest high five salute does every Monday and Wednesday night for their respective leagues. And Nathan Barth is your winner. The question is, Brockton Packard, does he have enough to win the championship? Matthew Burgoyne finished 3rd. I don't think he does. I think Burgoyne's going to hold him off to win the title. We'll have to tally all this up here.
Yeah, I'd have to go and really look at it, and I don't want to. I don't want to do the calculations. That's not my job. I don't want to serve up any false news. But from what I can tell, I believe it wasn't enough. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Well, I mean, there's points for the win, 70, 65, 60, 55, 50, down into the points for each position of the race. Not to mention for the positions of the race itself. Nathan Barth will pick up the win. And if I remember correctly, I think this is his first win this year for the driver, Nathan Barth. It is. Nathan Barth will join drivers like Max Cookson with 3, Andrew McLaughlin with 1, Tyler Jordan with 1, and Dominique Kurt with 1, and Matthew Burgoyne with 1. Unofficially, we're thinking Matthew Burgoyne has enough to win the championship. Here's your results. Barth the winner, Maryland 2nd, Burgoyne winning the war, Barth winning the battle unofficially. Andrew McLaughlin 4th, David Greenleaf took the challenge, came up 4 spots shy in 5th. Jason Ricker 6th. Caleb Willett 7th. Jack McKee 8th. Chris York, Ed Conley, your top 10 there, Brockton.
Yeah, coming home in 7th is going to be the 11th is the 7 of Ben Bergens. 12th is going to be the 86 of Dan DeSanto. 13th, the 23 of Cody Billings. Tyner Conley, and that 31 coming home 14th, William DeBaker. 15th in that 66. Brian Treadwell coming home in 16th for that 24. A very up and down day for him. Chris Fortier in the 11 coming home 17th. Lap down cars 18th is going to be Kyle Mooney. 19th Brian Conover, and Tyler Jordan going to be coming home in 20th.
And there's the rest of the rundown, including 21st stopping in the driver of, well, I lost my place there for a second. Hello. Going to be the driver of, Golowitz, Mingo, Cookson, Smith, Dyer, the top 25. He had problems that took his chance of an opportunity of a championship diminished. And then Dominic Currit also unable to start the race as well. So, unofficially, Nathan Barth the winner and Matthew Burgoyne the champion. We'll take a break. We'll tally everything up. We'll check with the Maine Sim Racing Series officials, and we will have our Press Box Motorsports Podcast post-race wrap-up show coming soon. We're back in a moment from Stafford, the Maine Sim Racing Series, iRacing on LSRTV. To the Press Box Motorsports Show podcast show post-race wrap-up. By the way, I want to say thanks to Dr. Packard. He had to step away and leave early. Always a great time working with that young man out of Charlotte, and we'll be back with him next week for the finale here for Oxford Plains. But everything has been tallied. Matthew Burgoyne is officially coming out of retirement, and he wins the race for the championship. Nathan Barth will win the race for the finale here at Stafford, presented by Beach Ridge Barbershop. And Jason Ricker will be second in the overall points, as well as Barth third. So here's what we'll do. will grab the third place points man, followed by second in the season. And then we'll also get, of course, in addition to that, the winner and the champion. So, Barf, stand by as you are the third and the winner. But right now, we'll get our thoughts with Jason Ricker. Jason, you're taking this race or making it into the championship 4, making it to the end of this race. It was a very interesting show, no doubt about it. You finished in the points and you finished in second.
Yeah, I messed up early on in the race. Got in too hot, got on the brakes, got sideways, and went to the rear. It was a challenging race trying to come from the rear and stuff and be patient with some of the guys because there weren't a lot of patience out there tonight. Really was looking forward to having some long green flag runs, and we never got them because just stupidity, I guess.
I think that's the word. If you want to sum it up as a driver in the cockpit, the broadcast booth might have thought the same thing. A lot of aggression. But do you see this, you think, going into these final types of races? Is these the types of environment, whether it's virtual reality, that the promoters hype it up to be?
Yeah, I mean, they all won a points battle. It was kind of tight between me and Matt. There was talk of Matt not making it tonight, so that had me a little excited, but I didn't want to win it that way. I'm happy to finish second, but it's the last race of the year. It's the last chance to get your or last points race of the year. It's the last chance to get a win, get a good finish, and everybody's clawing and digging, trying to get through the race and get whatever they can, and it's real hard to pass here. So like I said, it was just some bonehead moves there throughout the race. Towards the end, it got a little bit better. Just overdriving and stuff. Guys need to just settle down.
And I guess it's now on to Oxford Plains next week.
Yeah, that should be exciting. That's a good race. Oxford's always about rhythm. It's not really about the fastest car. It's just about who can stay in the rhythm the longest there. Keep the right rear tire, keep tires on it and stuff. So we're looking forward to that. That's my home track. I live real close to Oxford, 5 minutes down the road. So I grew up there, and I'm really looking forward to that.
All right, buddy, before I let you go, I want you to thank your sponsors. Thanks, Jason.
Yeah, thanks, RKM Setup Shop, Bernie's Liquors. Them guys help out. Ryan Kuhn, them guys help me out a lot this year, or every year with setups and anything on iRacing. So Sean, for putting on the league, that's a thankless job, I'm sure. I know what he goes through on a small dose of it on regular racing and stuff. So I really want to thank Sean and Beechridge Barbershop for sponsoring the event, but Sean really has a thankless job and puts up with all us yahoos week in and week out. I really appreciate it.
All right, buddy, ladies and gentlemen, that's Jason Ricker. Again, he'll finish in the top 3 in the points for a championship when it's all said and done. PJ Merrill will grab a word with you. Obviously, second in the race, outside in the top 10 for a run for the championship at the end of the year. You'll finish second. What's your take of this race here tonight at Stafford? You follow the same sentiments of obviously Mr. Ricker?
Yeah, I do. This is just, race was chaotic. I don't think I actually passed a single car on the racetrack. I just kept getting lucky with them wrecking, but it was a good show. I'm glad to see Nate win it and Matt win the championship.
Well, I'll tell you what, man, what do you take from this race tonight to prepare for the big show? Everybody wants to win Oxford Plains. I was hyping that up on the air. What do you take from this to prepare for next week?
We'll definitely carry the momentum into it. I love Oxford on this game. It's like Ricker said, it's all about rhythm. It's a whole lot of fun.
All right, buddy, before I let you go, thank your sponsors there, PJ Merrill. Thanks.
I'd like to thank Rowan Sons Trucking, Sean Kimball for putting this all on, and you guys for broadcasting it.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. There is the driver again, the runner-up of the race, of course, PJ Merrill. He came into tonight's event 9th in the point standings. I'm sure he will climb with the other drivers having the misfortunes that they had here tonight. Let's go to victory lane. Winner of the race, 3rd in the point standings finale. Driver of the number 37, his first win this year. Might be his first career win for the Maine Sim Racing Series. Nathan Barth, you've finally done it. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. It definitely felt good to finally break through. It's been a long time coming for this, and with everything tonight, Beecher's Barbershop's been a big supporter of me for a couple of years now. So to win on his night, this is really full circle. So I'm excited right now. I'm still shaking a little bit.
Is this your first big iRacing win, Nathan?
I would say, yeah, this is probably the first one to note. This would be the first one.
Awesome, man. I'll tell you what. Well, listen, and only that, you know, I don't even think you realize this. I know you're trying to win the battle, but man, you damn sure come close to winning the war too. What was it? Was you even thinking about trying to run for the championship?
Yeah, I mean, I checked it here and there. I knew that Burgoyne and Ricker were both fast, and they're both going to finish up up towards the front. So I wasn't super worried about trying to get ahead of those guys. I was more or less just trying not to lose the spot I was currently in. So we finished 5th in points last year. We finished 3rd this year, and to finish on the point season with a win, I'm very happy.
That's an improvement for sure, and obviously carrying all that momentum into the big race at Oxford Plains next week. Your thoughts on that?
I'm really excited for that. Oxford is my home track. That's where I race every week in the summer, so I'm really excited to be there. That's probably my favorite track on the sim. And like PJ and Ricker have said, you don't have to have the fastest car there to win. You just have to be smart, be smooth, and be there at the end.
Nathan, before I let you go, man, again, thank your sponsors. I know you did mention Beach Ridge Barbershop, but so many other people that help you out. Yeah,
I want to thank, once again, the Beach Ridge Barbershop, man. Matty, we did it. We finally did it, man. I know you're watching at home. We're excited. Matt's been a huge supporter of me through iRacing and real racing. So I'm pumped. Respera Brothers Construction, New Energy Solutions, Quinn's Installation, Dio Roque Heating LLC, OL Photos, Lucky's V-Twin. I want to thank you guys. I want to thank Sean. I want to thank everybody that puts this together. It's been a really fun season. I'm really hoping we can come back and do this again next year, and hope we have a good run next week.
Ladies and gentlemen, back in victory lane, finishing 3rd in the points in final, and winner for his first time ever in the mainly ductless heating and air Maine Sim Racing Series, the number 37 here tonight. That's Nathan Barth. We go to now the champion, and when it's all said and done, we were told last week that this driver was going to be stepping away, retiring from iRacing to focus on getting ready for the real racing season. I said, he's the points leader. What is he thinking? What are you doing? Well, last week was the All-Star race. It was non-points. Maybe it was a mulligan. Maybe it was a ploy. Matthew Burgoyne came back tonight. He did exactly what he needed to do throughout the trials and tribulations. Matthew Burgoyne, congratulations. You are the champion again of the Maine Sim Racing Series of 2022-23.
Yeah, thanks. It was a long season. I wasn't feeling too well today, so I figured I'd come on to iRacing. I didn't feel like working on my race car and getting ready for, the season's coming up here really quick, and I got a lot of work backed up onto it. And, real racing's very important, but we had the chance to come in here and race tonight, and I was able to pull it off.
Now doing it, are you happy that you did it?
Oh, definitely. It was definitely a long race, a lot of cautions, a lot of aggression. Obviously, I showed a little bit too much aggression there in the beginning of the race, and cost me at a better position of actually winning. But we were able to battle back from the back, get 3rd, and edge out Jason Ricker there.
I think the word aggression you were thinking of, are we referring to what happened between you and Tyler Jordan? What's your take of what he did to you or what you did to him? It sounds like you got to had to reset.
Yeah, he spun the tires off in 4 on that restart, and I could have ducked out before the start-finish line to get position on him, but we're not allowed to do that. So I went down into turn 1 below the apron, and I came up. He was trying to defend it. I felt like I got in there far enough because we made contact on his left front. So I felt like I deserved a little bit more track, and he was trying to defend it. Felt like I dive bombed it, and Sean decided for us and figured I was a little bit too aggressive. So from the back, we had to come.
Well, you did what you needed to do to come back here and fight for the win. Obviously, you come up and finish in the end the number 3 spot, but enough to win the championship. For the official champion presentation, the series director of the Maine Sim Racing Series, Sean Kimball.
Congratulations, Matthew. You ran it strong all year. You represent the league very well. You know, we kind of disagree a little bit on sending you to the back tonight, but aside from that, you're a great representative of the league, and I'm proud to call you the champion of this series. Congratulations.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you for everything you do for the league. I know you got a thankless job, and I even give you crap, obviously, tonight. But I appreciate everything you guys do, and appreciate mainly Duckless and Heating for sponsoring the racing, and for Beach Ridge Barbershop for coming on for this race. Appreciate it, guys.
And hey, by the way, Matthew, now it's on to Oxford next week for the big All-Star, the non-points race to close out the season. Will we see you there for that race, or are you officially now done for the year?
I'm scheduled to work that night, so we'll see what happens. If things get moved around, like I was supposed to work tonight and didn't end up having to go in, so we'll see what happens. If I can get off work, I'll definitely. I love that race, and we need to defend it. Defend it from last year, but I don't know if I'll be able to.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, again, the driver of the number 38 will pocket another $100 for being the champion. He also finishes third in the race tonight. The number 38 of Matthew Burgoyne, the champion for the Northwest, or for the, the Mainly Sim and Douglas Heaton and Air Maine Sim Racing Series here tonight when it's all said and done at Stafford. We will be back, is what I had Northwest on the brain, in less than an hour, 10:30 Eastern Time. We are back with iRacing on LSRTV and CRN with coverage of the Northwest Click It RV Fixed Series, Xfinity Series, qualifying, and the duels from Daytona. And again, congratulations to the winner here at Stafford, number 37, first career win for Nathan Barth. He wins the battle. Matthew Burgoyne wins the war. For Jeff Stabnow, Charles Wooten, Mr. Sean Campbell, everybody at the Maine Sim Racing Series and iRacing on LSRTV. For Brockton Packard, I am Wesley Outland. It's on to Oxford Plains for just bragging rights next week to close the chapter of this series. And you can follow the action always on iRacing on LSRTV. Good night from virtual Stafford Speedway, where Nathan Barth wins the Stafford finale, presented by Beach